What is going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and as you know from the title, we are here to discuss The Walking Dead game Season 2, which has been officially announced, officially given a launch window, which is fall 2013. Now, me and I think everybody else assumed that this game would come out a lot later, that they spent a lot of time crafting Season 1 and would want a lot of time to, one, give people a little break, and two, craft Season 2 to be equally epic. And when they gave the first quote saying the game would be out next fall, most people assumed they were talking 2014, but Telltale was quick to come back and clarify and confirm for all of these publications and sites that no, it really is releasing later this year, which has me super excited. It's a one-year turnaround, but I think they can do a fantastic job. They said that the game is going to carry over decisions and choices from Season 1 into Season 2. Not all, probably, but definitely some, and they even made mention of carrying over somehow to PlayStation 4. I don't know how that would be possible, but apparently it could be just transferring the save in some capacity. So it'll probably be out on a whole circus of values and systems. PlayStation 4, 720, Mac, PC, and I'd assume 360 and PS3 as well. So you'll basically be able to buy it no matter which piece of electronic equipment you choose to use. But that leaves us with a lot of interesting questions that I want to discuss with you guys and get your feedback and opinions in the comments, which is where do they take things for Season 2? I see it going one of three ways. We'll start with the first one, which is the most basic, and keeping the current timeline and giving you a different main character, maintaining a lot of the same secondary and tertiary characters, at least the ones that are still alive, and of course you can counter Clementine, some of the same locations. I think that's the safest route, and frankly the one I hope they do not do. I think the people at Walking Dead, or the people at Telltale creating The Walking Dead game, are very creative, very proud of their storytelling prowess, and this is like most people's favorite game of last year, so they have a lot to live up to. And I think it would be to their benefit and really cool if they took some chances, plot structure-wise and character-wise. So the second option would be that they make Clementine the focal character. And they could do this one of two ways. They could, start right away from the end of Season 1, like seconds after, boom, begin Season 2. Or they could delay a couple years and sort of advance her character, allow her to grow, allow her to, sort of fortify her strength a little bit. So you're not playing entirely a fragile young girl, but you're playing a fragile but evolving and tough and really awesome character. Of course, the bond between Lee and Clementine is one of the best realized parent, child, guardian, kid character bonds we've ever seen in gaming, and it's why there were so many tears in the season finale, because they really created this lifelike and beautiful and believable character bond between Lee and Clementine. So it would be very interesting to go from being the protector in Season 1 to now like I said, there's a sort of semi-fragile, semi-strong Clementine herself. I don't know that they would take the risk of advancing the timeline. That might not fit in with the whole universe, and they may want to keep things consistent and sort of a direct timeline. But that has me a little worried as well, because I don't want to see Season 2 be another travel across the country finding safe locations journey. It was great in Season 1, they did a fantastic job, and they could probably do a really good job with the same type of thing in Season 2, but I'd like to see them go somewhere a little different. In Season 1, we got from point A to point B, and I don't really want Season 2 to all be about getting from point B to C, like same type of thing, like, oh, we've got this group of characters, and we have to make sure they're safe, all the way across the country and find an escape route. They've done themselves I think a big favor by killing off a lot of the cast, so there's no responsibility oh, you really have to resolve this character, except Clementine. And again, that bond is so awesome, and I think it's a lot of people's favorite character, so they'll definitely keep her around. The third option would be to completely take it in a 180 different direction. They've said they have a lot of stories from the Walking Dead universe to tell, that they think it's a really cool piece of lore and fiction, so I guess they could give you a new main character, new locations, new NPCs, new everything. But I think they've built up too much clout with the current group, or what's left of them, and the fact that they said the decisions will carry over leads me to believe that you will encounter at least a good chunk of the same characters, and that it probably will keep in line with the same timeline. Now, I think my preference, like I said, is to have Clementine be the main character. I think that is the most interesting. It would be the most risk-taking, having a female lead, a young female lead. I think you could do the most sort of creatively, artistically, written-wise with that, as story is the main focus of these games. But it's kind of an awkward balance. Mass Effect 2 and 3 struggled with this. You have this group of characters that you get very accustomed to and very familiar with and really grow to like, but when you make a sequel, how many of them do you retain? How many of them do you keep? these guys are creative people, and I'm sure they want to inject new blood into the series, and we want them to as well. That's fun to see what they can dream up, what they can imagine up, what they can come up with, what kind of crazy scenarios. But there definitely is a little bit of you that wants some of those characters to continue. Mass Effect 2, people fell in love with Mordin or Thane or Rex, and it was really fun and nice to see those guys in some capacity in Mass Effect 3. So I definitely think you will be seeing a couple of familiar faces, as many as they can fit in there. But I do sincerely hope they take things in a new plot structured direction. And I frankly don't know what that would be like. The Walking Dead is so much about survival and so much about just making it and roughing it that I don't, it would be silly to have another Outbreak story. It would be silly to have a humans versus humans story. They kind of explored that a little bit in Season 1. It was a really cool moment. But I'm trying to sort of imagine in my head, where could you take the zombie-human conflict and sort of craft a narrative that isn't just traveling from point A to point B. Now, again, if you've played all of Season 1, you know that there was some resolution, but not a whole ton. So maybe they will continue that, and things will just evolve sort of naturally from there. Maybe it's not about traveling, but now about either containing or creating a new life or figuring out a way to survive happily amongst this disaster, or building some epic community and then defending and reinforcing. And they said they do want to make some changes, and there'll be some new stuff. So again, I hope and I don't think that it's going to be just a straight, let's walk across the land and find cool safe havens to camp out in. But what I'm looking forward to most is more awesome decisions, and I hope that they push that to the maximum. There was definitely moments, when they have that timer and you're like, oh my god, one of two things: who do I save, who do I kill, or which way do we go? I hope they add more of those. And I know it probably adds quite a bit of time to their process in terms of if people take Route A or Route B, where do we go? But I think those are the coolest moments where they put you under stress, put you under tension, and really make you feel like you are in this zombie apocalypse. You are in the eyes of the character, freaking out and trying to figure out what you would do. It really not only is a fun and sort of exciting, get your adrenaline going, but it's an interesting experiment. And how would you really choose to do things? How would you really handle yourself in these zombie apocalypses? And someone, I don't remember where, argued that really you take more time to make these decisions, so the timer is kind of in disservice of making it really realistic. But I think that, no, there definitely be plenty of moments where you did not have much time to lose, and you had to just go on your gut instinct, snap your fingers, and hope you made the right choice. It would be really cool to see them make at least a little bit more diverging paths. The decisions were fun and different in Walking Dead Season 1, but they ultimately got us all the pretty exact same point. Of course, the beginning and end are going to be identical for it to be a fully realized narrative, but I'm hoping that there's a little bit more winding of the paths along the way, that maybe there's, it would take more time, but maybe there's two areas that you get to see if you make this choice and everyone else doesn't, or they get to see two different areas to give one more replayability and two even a more personalized experience. It'd be cool to go to my friends or you guys and say, hey, I saw, this location, and we went here and had to do this, and you're like, no way, back there I turned right, and instead we had to do. I think that would be really cool. And you could make it it could be pretty easy, but even if it's just window dressing of new environments and maybe some new puzzles, I think that could be a real step in the right direction for Season 2. I hope that you guys are really excited for this game. I know I definitely am. We'll definitely be talking about it as the year progresses, and it definitely will probably be a real cool contender coming out at a great time. New consoles, everyone will be pumped about gaming, and it could be a real standout for PlayStation 4 and Xbox 720. I don't know if they're going to be thinking of any exclusivity or if anyone's going to be talking about, hey, could we get you to launch first on our system? But that would be a huge get for either Microsoft or Sony if they could secure some sort of early rights to the property. But most importantly, the game is coming out. It's coming out this year, this fall. I want to know your thoughts. Where do you want the series to go? Where do you think they will take it? It could be two different things. Where I want it to go is with Clementine as the central character. Where I think it will go is probably more along the lines of option one, which is a new main character maintaining most of the same, or as many of the same secondary and tertiary as they could, and Clementine will be featured again as your piece of protection. But I'm not sure. I don't know, and I'm interested to see what you guys think. Definitely let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you are excited for The Walking Dead Season 2 and happy that it's coming out this year. Till next time, guys, girls, have a fantastic day. Drink so much. Thanks for watching. We will see you all later.